This morning, we begin with the wallpapers, the Daily Trust. It has a way it captured the Wike London trip.
Yes.
Tinubu, Wike's London meeting rattles PDP, Atiku. You'll find that story on the front page of the Daily Trust, with the writer, Rivers governor may work for APC, says sources. Former VP Man. We're working to resolve PDP crisis, says BOT chair. We've heard this again and again, but it doesn't look like the working is working.
It doesn't look like that. And in all honesty, it's the BOT chairman of the PDP, Jibril Walid. I think he's even an octogenarian. He's the only one so far that has showed perhaps genuine interest in this reconciliation. He's the only one. He's the one that has offered to give up his position as chairman of the BOT so that they can balance the north-south imbalance in the PDP today. He's the one that's calling for meetings. He's the one that's suing for peace. He's the one that's even asking 𝐒𝐭𝐲 to step down now so that they can bring Wike back into the fold. Jibril Walid, old man, he's the one that is doing this work. And I'm quite surprised, because we know there are younger elements in the party. There are leaders of this party too, whom we know very well, including governors, who have decided to, to be aloof about what is going on in the PDP. Yesterday, I spoke to one of a stakeholder at the party, a lawyer. Ilemona was telling me that the party cannot deny that they are worried. It's 5 months to elections, a month into the campaigns. The PDP seems completely unprepared to start this election. They're not strategizing the way it is, and this difference can be shown in what the other presidential candidates are doing, especially Mr. Obi, who is consulting across the country, and Mr. Bola Tinubu, who even had to travel abroad to meet the Wike group, as it were. It shows strategy, it shows plan, it shows preparations ahead of the party. I don't know why the PDP has been able to resolve this issue with Governor Wike. And Mr. Wike, for what it's worth, appears to be implacable. That you cannot beg him. He's cantankerous when he speaks. The other day in Port Harcourt, he was saying, "Let them come, I will choke them." And those kind of comments. It doesn't appear. Those are not conciliatory tones. He appears like he's completely tone deaf to the issues about reconciliation. When the meeting held in Port Harcourt last Friday, his team put on the table as an irreducible minimum the resignation of 𝐒𝐭𝐴CHA immediately. When the Fintiri team from Abuja said that they think that cannot be considered, let them talk about everything, the Wike team stepped out of the meeting. The meeting was a non-starter. I didn't even get off the ground. They left, and that was where they left it. Until of course we heard that surprisingly that Governor Wike had traveled abroad. Some people were saying it was in France because there was a picture with the singer Davido, said Paris, and yesterday it emerged that this meeting actually took place in London. And Governor Wike was in company of his cohorts, his associates, Governor Samuel Otom, who appears to be the king of double speak now, because the other day he said that he will go the Atiku way eventually.
Where does he stand?
It appears that Samuel Otom stands nowhere, and then Governor 𝐒𝐭𝐲𝐬𝐶 is in that and then Governor 𝐒𝐴𝐍𝐒, who is one of the senior members of the party and very well respected. The question, is because Atiku has offered to make 𝐒𝐴𝐍𝐒 the DG campaign. Makinde has politely refused because yes, I was this is an information I was told from the inside, because Makinde is also very wary of a northern presidency like Governor Fayose, the same position that we think that the presidency should come south. Now the PDP, their party, has a northern candidate. What do? They are meeting with an APC's presidential candidate from the south. There's a lot of politics around this, and unless you're an insider, you probably do not know the full of it. But this meeting with Bola Tinubu ahead, some APC governors were also in attendance. It took place in London, and as at last night, Atiku Abubakar has also landed in Europe. His spokesman Paul Ibe said he has gone for a business meeting after the NBA meeting. Is this maybe he has gone to catch Wike in London? We don't know. But clearly this battle for the soul of Nigeria at this time has been taken out of our country. They are now meeting outside this country, Europe. Essentially the way it is. The PDP have a problem, and until to resolve that problem, they don't look ready. And that problem, unfortunately for them, is Governor Nyesom Wike, the Rivers State governor. And Governor Wike appears like he takes no prisoners. Yesterday there was an attempt to hold a meeting in Rivers, in Bori. you know, a PDP meeting.
Bori.
Yeah, Bori. Yes, that's the headquarters of the Ogoniland, right?
In Kana local government.
This meeting was convened by Lee Meba, former Senator Lee Meba, and Ogoniman, and the meeting was disrupted. You know, and before you know it, the building was marked for demolition. I mean, it's just, according to Smart, who's HE yesterday, it's the Wike playbook.
It's not the first time we've seen stuff like that.
So you see that the issues are not just, they're multi-level issues. You know, one is an attempt to try to talk. It's not working. The second one is that Wike is going ahead to meet. He's playing, according to one party member who refused to be named, the one newspaper today, is clearly anti-party. The activities of Governor Wike has become anti-party. You cannot lead PDP governors to meet an APC presidential candidate outside the country. It's anti-party. And some of the members are saying, call his bluff. Sule Lamido.
Can the PDP do that?
That's the problem.
At this crucial
appears
time.
like they can, because if they wanted to, they would have done it the day Okowa emerged and he got angry. They will have that day cut off from him and see what will happen. But they have moved it too far. The goalposts have now moved very close, you know, to the middle of the field. You can't at this stage, you know, begin to do that. And time is fast gone. Time is fast spent. So what we were saying is an attempt, you know, to reconcile, you know, without considering some of the things that Wike is demanding, you know, and which for Wike is a non-starter at all. Concede to my demands. First, I want 𝐒𝐭𝐻𝐈 to go. I want the presidential candidate to write an undertaking to say that he will run only one term, and I want very important positions, not just the campaign council, but the promise that if the government wins, these are the positions my team will bring. The same thing is happening in the NNPP with Ibrahim Shekarau. They promised him House of Assembly seats, they promised him House of Rep seats, and even deputy governor. They gave him only one senatorial ticket. His group, he has left the party. You know, Shekarau has left the party and appeared that he's going to return to the PDP. So politicians,
business as usual.
Sometimes they make promises they never keep, and I think that's what Wike is trying to hold. Sign on to this agreement. It's not happening so far. People judge this matter differently. There are people who think that Governor Wike is just implacable and they should call his bluff and he's playing anti-party. The others who think he's truly aggrieved, and that for what it's worth, people should listen to him. Because Governor Wike held this party together when the likes of Atiku Abubakar lost elections and were junketing all over the place, you know, he funded the party directly from his own state resources and kept the party as the leading opposition party in the country. So you can't say he's not a major stakeholder. He is. And when he lost the presidential primary, he was supposed to be considered for the running mates to Atiku Abubakar. The Atiku Abubakar set up a team that recommended him, and Atiku Abubakar did not go with him again. Another grievance. So they think that Wike is rightly aggrieved. You know, we'll see how it pans out for them. But clearly, I think members of the party are worried. Stakeholders are very worried. Yesterday, one of their major stakeholders said that for the sake of party and nation, Mr. Ayu will have to agree to a transition. That means the party is also thinking that maybe as a first move to placate Wike, let 𝐒𝐻𝐈 go.
If you enjoyed this video, hit the subscribe button for more. Leave a comment and like. Thank you.